The reason you're still trash on offense in Madden 26 is because you keep passing every play. Luckily for you, in this video, I'm giving you the complete guide to my super toxic Bears offensive ebook. I'll show you the best run plays, everything beaters, red zone dots, everything you're going to need to dominate an offense from this really unstoppable Bears playbook. If that sounds good to you, don't skip out on any of the plays or tips I have for you today, because again, they're going to transform your offense. Let's jump right into it. The first thing any great offense needs is a one-play touchdown to force the defense back and open up the rest of the game. Let me show you the best one right now from this Bears playbook. Alright, so we're going to come into gun bunch X nasty and we're going to call motion halfback choice. Alright, so we're going to obviously respot the ball right here. You want to always make sure you have your bunch on the wide side of the field like I do right here, slightly to the wide side. And what you're going to notice is against cover 3 defenses is really where this is going to be the most valuable, right? Or cover 2 and cover 3. But what we're going to do, block our halfback, put our tight end in a corner out. When we snap this ball and step up in the pocket, you're going to notice how that inside third defender, and again, that's Jalen Ramsey, one of the very best DBs in the game, who were able to beat on that play simply because that's how good this play is. All right, so you see how this is very important and something that a lot of people miss. Stepping up in the pocket. You see how far I step up in the pocket to actually make this work? Step up in the pocket, and boom, we launch this pass over the top. All right, Ramsey is basically held in the middle of the field by these two routes. This is a shriek, a regular shriek. This is a fade route though, so the further it runs up the field, the more it bends the route off inside and gets inside the inside third. So again, put Roman Doomsday on a shriek, put Colston Loveland on a corner route, block the running back. And again, it's so important to have good pocket presence really when you're calling this play. So again, we're going to take the snap, step up in the pocket. We have a clean pocket, and this time we're just going to, again, be able to launch that pass. Now, I would recommend you freeform it to get it further away from that defender. Again, that time it wasn't Ramsey, and you can see how, though, right, the better defender is with zone coverage ratings, the harder it kind of is. Well, again, it's still wide open with Ramsey or not, but it's like, This is just a very easy, I didn't even have to freeform this. And that's really what tells you that it's wide open. So you see how, again, he runs this like a regular streak, but he keeps just bending it off to the corner. And so then we're just able to freeform pass that ball inside of that defender for an easy score. So that's cover 3 defenses. But against cover 2, it's a lot of the same thing, because the reality is what you're going to notice is if they're going to run like a cover 2 like this, I don't know if this mid-read is going to be able to get back there. All right, I really doubt he is. Unless he's really, like, yeah, you actually see how he just kind of vacates the middle of the field right there. That's really something that EA added to the game for some reason, where you can call plays like this now, and these routes these mid-reads, they just leave the middle of the field. So you see how it doesn't really matter because the mid-read gets basically glitched out and follows this shriek all the way up the field, leaving our fade, again, wide open in the middle. But another thing that you're going to pick up on when you're really playing this game is you're going to notice how people love to run cover 2, but user the mid-read defender, right? So they're going to put him in, I'm going to put him in a spy right here, but what they're just going to do, they're going to user him. So if you're able to, if they don't get back there, you're able to influence their user, pull him down just slightly. I can't even tell you how many touchdowns I've scored in this play this year, simply because their user doesn't get back there and they run a cover 2 defense. So really, it doesn't matter whether they run cover 2, even if they run cover 4, it's not going to be a touchdown. It's not going to be this wide open, but you can still probably throw it once he runs over the hook zones. So it's like against all zone coverage defense, this is a phenomenal play. You can see how the middle of the field, parts like the Red Sea, wide open. Our corner routes, DJ Moore does a great job of just pulling this guy down and outside and making that just an easy, pass lead for us in the middle. So again, motion halfback choice here. Put Loveland in a corner, block the running back, put B on a shriek. And now when we go to take the snap, again, stepping all the way up in the pocket because we need to get that ball away from that inside third defender, pass lead away from him, and it's going to be an easy score. So that's really the best one-play touchdown here in the game from the Bears playbook. And again, it's super toxic and easy to run. All right, having a great one-play touchdown is fantastic, but you also want to be able to make the game really easy for yourself with a super toxic RPO. I just showed this RPO to this player, and he loved it. So I know you're going to as well. Let me show you. All right, so the RPO that we're going to call here is going to be from gun Y off trips, RPO read Y flat, all right? So what I would recommend you do with this, you have options. I would motion this guy inside because if this defender follows him inside, I have leverage to the sideline if he just wins his rep. And I love throwing this. So that's why, and if you leave him outside, you're never going to have that throw. It's not going to be available to you. So it's like, it's not always going to be open because you see how he still presses him right here. So, but it's like, if you can get that look, you take it. But if they don't, like they just drop out right here, that's really where you're just kind of looking for that tight end. Now, that time, it still comes down to blocks, right? So you really still need your guys to be able to, you know, win their block, their one-on-one block. But now you're going to see how, boom, and you're just going to take it, and you're going to throw it out here. You're going to hit that juke, hopefully, on that guy. But it's one of the easiest plays in the game because you have options. You have so many options. You could even leave him in his curl. Like, against this defense, you probably should leave him in his curl. Throw it. Easy completion, right? So you're able to kind of play those cat and mouse games with them on the backside with that DJ Moore receiver, but also understanding that you can throw the ball out to the flat by reading the pass key, the guy with the P over his head right here. You can read the read key, determine do you want to keep it or not. Like right here, I'm going to keep it with Caleb Williams. Now, obviously, in that case, I would have thrown it out to the flat, but I'm just saying if they take away the flat, having that quarterback run as an option is really helpful. Like right here, great option. And we're going to take off and we're going to try to, Caleb Williams cannot move, but it's just easy. So you can keep it with your quarterback. You can hand it off to the running back. You can throw the flat, or like I said, you can motion DJ Moore inside and really play with them, you know, with whatever route you want on him. Just, I mean, you can just see how it's typically an easy completion to pick up 8 yards if they don't come up and press your guy. Now, again, you can call this anywhere in the field. I mean, it's really great in the red zone, obviously, as a great way to punch the ball in the end zone. But I don't really blame you for just throwing this pass like in the middle, like right here, and picking up first down yardage time and time again. The key with it, though, is quick snapping. So you want to be able to get it up as quickly as possible. So you could motion him or you could leave him. But after that, really trying to snap, right? You just notice how they're in a hot blitz. So that's a one-on-one situation. So that's just an easy pitch and catch. So RPO read wide flat, whether you're calling it in the red zone or not, really the most toxic RPO in this game. Very challenging to defend. You have so many great options. And I mean, you could really just spam the tight end over and over again and just pick up easy first down. So start adding this play to your arsenal. RPO read wide flat from gun Y off trips. All right, so if you found those first 2 plays from this Bears offensive ebook helpful, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down Madden 26 tips and tricks every single day to help you guys get better, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. But if you want my full Bears offensive ebook, which goes through the best one-play touchdowns, the red zone plays, RPOs, everything you're gonna need, and really this video is just a piece of the puzzle, go to the link down below in the pinned comment. You can grab it today by using code YouTube to get 20% off. Like I said, gonna totally transform your offense, and it really is the most toxic offense in the game. So if that interests you, check it out today, and let's jump right back into the video. Because next I want to break down the best everything beater here in Madden 26 from this Bears offense. This play has the ability to annihilate every coverage in the game without you even having to read the defense. Let me show you. All right, so our play here is going to be Y sail from gun normal Y off close. Now, this is a play that you always want to make sure you are calling on the short side. So what I mean by that is the ball is on the left hash, so I want my receivers here in this case, the 3 receivers, so DJ Moore, Colson Loveland, and DeAndre Swift, to be on the left side. You really don't want to get into the habit of passing from the middle of the field, and you certainly don't want to call this play towards the wide side. So make sure that those receivers are on the short side like this, because they are in a flood concept, street corner flat. So we're going to take this snap right here, and again, we're just going through our read progression as far as reading the defense, right? Your first read is your underneath pass to DeAndre Swift. Then you're more so looking for Burden on his drag, and then your corner route. So again, boom, we're going to take the snap. We're going to see there in man coverage. And here's the thing about man coverage. You have, especially a blitz, you have to feel the pressure, right? You're sending 5 out, so you know you're kind of on a timer, right? They're giving you kind of a man look right here, right? So they're going to be in man, so I'm just going to try to hit my drag underneath. He drops the ball. The thing, though, is I said this at everything beater. So when you have a play that can beat every defense, how I like to teach this is you don't want to take a sack. You know someone is going to be open regardless of the defense that you are playing against, and so it's just up to you to actually find that guy open down the field. Sacks will kill drives. Incomplete passes, drops, they hurt you, but they're not going to completely set you back like taking a bad sack because you don't know what you're doing on offense and you're calling a play that can't beat the defense that you're playing against. So really with this play, what I'm telling you is walk up the line, put Y on a drag, snap the ball. Don't read the defense really pre-snap. Unless they're giving you like an obvious man look, you're not worried, because I know that as soon as I snap this ball, I just have to go through the read progression. right there. Find my tight end corner out open. They actually were in a defense I thought that they were going to be in, so we find the corner out open there on the sideline. Right, so again, we go through it again. We're not worried about the coverage. We see that that could be open. Now, that's the thing, though, too, about man coverage is your guys can randomly get boxed just like that. I was kind of trusting that backside dig to get open. The guy kind of just ran the route for him. So that's the unfortunate part about playing against man. But you're just going to notice how we're going to have our running back right there, especially because you feel the pressure, but no sacks. No sacks, no interceptions, really, is what you're trying to get with this play. That's kind of the goal. And again, if you can call a play up and down the field that can accomplish those two things, no sacks, no interceptions, I mean, who's going to stop you on offense, right? Slot corner blitz, feel the pressure, find the running back open there on the sideline. Should have hit him earlier. That's why you go through the read progression, so that you don't like misread like I did right there. Because if they don't defend the flat, I'm throwing that every time, and it's just going to be easy for us to pick up yards. So why sell here from normal wide close? Again, in the Bears playbook, if you simply call this route concept right here and go through the read progression of your checkdowns, then your tight end, then your backside dig route, you're going to have a play that can tear apart every defense in the game without you even having to read the defense pre-snap. All right, before I jump into those final two plays here in this Bears offense that you're absolutely not going to want to miss, make sure you go down below and hit that subscribe button. Again, I'm the only one right now breaking down Madden 26 tips and tricks for you guys every single day, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. So what are you thinking? Hit that subscribe button. It's free, and let's jump right back into the video. Because next I want to break down the most toxic run play here in Madden 26, and it just happens to be from the Bears playbook. Let me show you. All right, so we're going to come into halfback direct snap, and we're going to have them in a random defense, all right? And so really with this play, it's going to be pretty tough for them to contain on a consistent basis. Think about with this play, you don't have a handoff animation, which means you're able to get to the second level of the defense much faster than a traditional handoff run play. And so really what you're trying to see is averages. You're playing the averages game, okay? Because if you can pick up 4 yards a pop with this run, you have a first down in 3 plays. And if you don't get into any fourth downs in a game, I mean, like, who's going to stop you, right? They're never going to get off the field. And so it's just averages. You know that sometimes, yes, on the first play, they stop us in the backfield. The next 2 plays, we rip off 15, 20-yard gains simply because we're able to get to the second level of the defense. So that's really what makes this play super, super dangerous. It's trying to find the right gap with your ball carrier and speed boost when you get to those spots. Always making sure you're speed boosting when you get into the open field to turn those 5-yard gains into huge runs down the field, like right here, where, I mean, Caleb kind of bumped into me there a few times, but it's like we're able to still play the averages game and pick up easy yards on the ground. Right here, they kind of just whip on their blocking. I kind of had a bad run vision as well right there, but it's like, if they don't know the gap shoot, now, if you guys want to know how to stop this play, I've talked about it in many of my defensive breakdowns, but if they don't know the specific gap shoot or the defense to stop this play, I mean, you're just going to be ripping off big gains all over the field time and time again, because this run isn't easy to stop, especially with their user defender. You see how the lane breaks open right here, and so I'm able to turn it into, you know, first down yardage. So again, but kind of a simple play. There's no handoff. All you're trying to do, follow your blocks, speed boost when you get into open space, and play the averages. Like, you get stopped in the backfield or you pick up 2 yards right there, it's not a big deal. You know that you can rip off a 15, 20-yard gain at any point in time with this play, and so it's just trying to stay consistent with it. Now, I'm not necessarily telling you to call this every play, but when you need, you know, a play here, when you need yards, I mean, that's just horrible run stick, but when you need yards, don't hesitate to just go to this, right? Or in a 4-minute offense situation, this should be your go-to. Because again, it's just gonna be really random for them to actually be able to stop it. There's not gonna be any consistency. And so if you're able to rip off a few good runs in a row, it's like you're gonna be able to pick up first downs, keep that clock moving, and, you know, really just, you know, frustrate them pretty well. So we'll go through it one last time here, but again, it's halfback direct snap, very simple, speed boost to get to your spot, and you're gonna be able to rip off big gains. And I'm not gonna end on a loss in the backfield. I actually wonder what my, you know, kind of average would be here. I mean, he has no outsiders, so he's really making it tough. Every segment I've tried to end this video, they just started going crazy. There we go. We find one. Wish we could have scored there, but it's like, that's the whole gist. Halfback direct snap, it's really random, their defense. Can they stop it or not? And so when that's the case, that actually works to your favor on offense, because you can rip off big chunks time and time again. And just, again, play the averages game. If you could pick up 4 yards to carry with this run, you're winning. But the reality is you can have a one-play touchdown, an everything beater, a quick snap play, a toxic RPO, but if you can't score in the red zone, guys, you're going to be absolutely lost. Let me show you the best red zone play here from this Bears offense. All right, so our play here is going to be quick fork zig from gun Y on, this is called, gun Y off trio weak. All right, what you want to do, motion DJ more inside, put Loveland on a slant, and put RB on a flat. This is going to be really great against cover 3 defenses, which is what they're going to be in right here, because that stop and slant route is going to do, a great job of just getting to the middle of the field and getting open. All right, it's really kind of a glitch route. So we're going to put them right back into a cover 3. We're going to put Burden on a flat. We're going to put our tight end on a slant, and we're going to take this snap because he's going to stop. And then as soon as that flat zone defender breaks outside, that's when he goes inside. This is literally attacking the zone logic that's built into these zones. This is going to happen 10 times out of 10, 100 times out of 100 when you're playing against a cover 3 or cover 4 defense. Anytime they have flat zones, like a curl flat, he's just going to get pushed outside by this flat route. And again, the key is him waiting to go inside until this flat is sucked outside. Boom, and then he just goes into the middle of the field, easy completion, easy touchdown. Again, also have this slant route right here, boom, easy slant in the middle of the field. You can also check the ball down to your running back, check and release route. But even if they run cover 2, right, let's just put them in a cover 2. The difference with cover 2 is you have to throw the ball earlier. All right, he's still going to be open, but you just notice how that's a much tighter window. Sometimes he catches it, sometimes he, like right there, you just drop it, right? But it's like, it's going to be a much tighter window throw for you against cover 2, which means you just have to be more sound with your reads. You can't really afford to be late. Boom, we're going to take it. They're in cover 2. We throw it earlier, and so we're able to get into the end zone and score. So that's really the difference. When you're playing in cover 2, the middle is not going to be quite as open, and so you have to be able to hit it on time. But also, it's like, this is kind of an everything beater in the red zone, because even if they run like man coverage here, we'll just put them in Overstorm Brave. Now you're more so looking to your tight end slant or your zig. So, I mean, you could throw that tight end slant to Loveland or you just score a touchdown, especially if their user vacates the middle of the field. But that backside kind of zig route that's kind of built into this play is a really good option for you as well. Again, boom, go with it. They're in man. Now, your stop and slant route could also beat man coverage. Like, it's kind of like 50-50, though. Sometimes he gets boxed. Sometimes he gets open. So, really, with this play against every defense, you're really looking first, the 1-2-3 read progression, looking first to B, then probably to X, and then looking to A. But I would say B is going to be a pretty good option for you against every defense in the game. You see they blitz, we get the pass off in time, and we score. So this play, quick fork zig from gun Y off trio weak here in the Bears playbook. One of the best red zone plays in the game, literally attacking zone logic. And the reality is a lot of players have never seen that before, and they're going to call standard defenses thinking they can stop it, when in reality you have options to beat every coverage they call. All right, so if you found that breakdown of the Chicago Bears offense helpful here in Madden 26, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down Madden 26 tips and tricks to help you guys get better every single day, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. But if you want my full Bears offensive ebook, which again goes through the full video, screenshots, write-ups with the best money plays, red zone offense, toxic RPOs, go to the link down below in the pinned comment. You can grab it today by using code YouTube to get 20% off. Goes through everything you're going to need to dominate an offense, and the best part is you can save everything on your phone and always reference it during gameplay. Really a great addition to your offense here in Madden 26, and if you want to see the defense that pairs perfectly with this offense, check out this video right here. I'll see you over there. Peace.